the second it comes in, and I don't know why.
I mean, there's a Marie Kondo, I'm sure, about it, right?
We're live? Yep. Are we live? Stay there, Jamie. We got to see if we got audio, brother. We're live from Dorian. Oh, James, this is too much. You guys are drinking various energy drinks to stay alive. Coffee.
Bailey's, coffee,
yeah.
Jameson.
Welcome.
What do you call that?
You call that a Dorian. That's what you call that.
That's a morning Dorian.
It sure is. Welcome to Fake News, kids. We're here. We're alive, barely. We're going super early on YouTube, live on the YouTubes, for the simple reason of we don't know if we're going to exist here in a couple hours.
Yep.
We don't know if we're going to make it through this hurricane alive. I feel that we're all wearing appropriate gear. Dan, is that some type of fishing outfit you're wearing there?
Yeah.
It is. Okay. From who?
From whom, actually?
Sorry about that.
I
Seems
don't
like
know.
you just told a New York Times best-selling author how to correct his fucking diction.
Yeah.
What are you wearing there?
It's a fishing jersey.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Who made that?
I'm not sure. They sent it to you, but I believe it's
got on the sleeve. It says it looks like an Instagram, Drinkin Bros Bow Fishing.
Let me look that up. I think it's probably Deltree Fishing. He's a big drinker, bro.
I like it. I like it. I bet you that thing keeps you dry from the storm, right?
No.
No. Huh.
No.
Fun facts about that.
There's something about rain and 80-mile-per-hour wind that usually you can't defeat with a shirt.
I would think that a fishing jersey would keep you dry, right?
No, I think the point of this is to put logos on it and not necessarily to keep you dry.
You're breaking all the rules of improv.
I'm
not yes-anding. Oh,
yes,
no.
And?
Yeah.
Yes, and?
No. Whoever tells you that's a fucking liar, dude. I prefer no's, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Just a
Dead serious.
stream of no's. Every question you asked him, he just said no.
Every single time.
And it just stopped right there.
Why? Because
it'll
lead me to this. Why do fishermen need to wear jerseys then? Is that a real sport? Dan, yes or no?
Nope.
It's a sport like bowling's a sport.
True athletes, right?
If it's something that other people do recreationally, then no, it's not a sport.
I think
like golf, not a sport.
I think in order to be big, kind of like bowling. Remember PDW when you get the crotch chop and then Danny McBride used it on Eastbound and Down? I think with a fisherman, whoever the best one is, he's got to pull a bass out and then slap it across his dong. You know, show the fish a little bit of dominance.
Who's the bitch?
And move on.
Something like that. Yeah, for sure.
Jesse, you look great today. Is that a shawl?
It's a poncho type thing, and then I put this jacket over it.
Now, is that stolen valor to be white and wear a poncho?
Ooh.
Great question.
No.
Stolen a Mexican valor.
Yeah.
My mother is
not Mexican.
She's not Mexican, is she?
She did lie to me my whole life and tell me that she was half Mexican.
This is a true story, by the way.
This is a true story.
She did the 23andMe, right?
Yeah, and last
so you're one
trip
2024 Mexican, just like
it's like 1/6, like blah blah blah.
Yeah,
like barely anything. And she goes, "We're Italian and Greek."
Yeah.
Who knew?
Who knew?
And I was like, I mean, you should have known.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. People
raising me as half Mexican. She's pretends to be a Mexican lady.
And people who care about their heritage like that, like, you should fucking know if that's your thing.
You should know.
Because that's not my thing. I don't
But
give
it
a
was
fuck
her
what
mom that lied to her. And then, once 23andMe comes out, family secrets, there's a lot of family secrets being revealed. That was mine.
Yeah, that was yours.
So these guys are Drinkin Bros Bow Fishing. That's who this is. It's not Deltree.
Okay.
Which is kind of a challenge to you, Deltree, to send me a fucking jersey. So
yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. By the way, people that are proud of things they had nothing to do with, fucking stupid. Straight pride, gay pride, dumb.
That straight pride parade, though, was a big hit the other day in Boston.
Yes. A huge hit. Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. It's like a bunch of virgins.
Yep.
Or dudes their wives haven't fucked them in 90 years.
Yeah.
And they're just out there. Did you notice how there were no women at that thing?
Looked like a hell of a time, Dan.
Oh, yeah.
Hell of a time.
That's my scene. A bunch of angry, sexless dudes.
Yeah, just holding corn dogs in the air.
Hey, fuck you. I'm a man. I'm a white man. Just relax, guys.
Very proud boys, right?
Just relax. I think most of so I know some people that went there and they were just there to troll people, which is appropriate. You should go to something like that to troll people.
Well, the whole thing feels like a troll.
The whole thing
no?
was a troll, though.
I believe it is, yeah.
Yeah, it was not a real
But
thing.
you know how it
We
is.
don't-
It's just like the Area 51 thing. If you start a troll, people are so fucking stupid
Yeah.
and or mentally disturbed that they'll latch onto it thinking it's real.
Yeah.
And then they show up and like, hey, you guys ready to fucking kill some people? Like,
And you're like,
no,
whoa,
dude.
this is kind of a joke.
We're drinking White Claw,
It's
bitch.
like
What's
you
the matter
at,
with you?
you at Olive Garden where you like showed up fully ready for like a real Italian meal.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey,
No,
we're joking.
No, I ordered a bowl of meatballs and a
a
steak.
bowl of
You did, yeah.
meatballs and a steak.
Yeah. She looked at you and she said, "Are you a fucking dinosaur?"
Your poor friends were just staring at me like, what's this guy's
They
deal?
thought you were joking. And
Yes.
then you just stared at them.
Yep.
Eye contact, each meatball.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Protein.
Look, man, making eye contact with someone
While
they
eating.
eat vegetables and pasta and you're eating meat,
Yeah.
pure dominance. I may as well be urinating on their feet.
Or puking. That's a fun one too. Just
puke.
eye contact while you're puking.
I can't do that.
You can't try
No,
it.
my
so
eyes,
fun.
my eyes water too much when I vomit.
Yeah.
But that would be like how. Oh, let's try it on the cruise, guys.
Shall we? Let's get to the fake news
God, we haven't even
here.
started the goddamn show yet.
Oh, we haven't, but we have. We haven't, but we have. Marianne Williamson.
Oh.
On Hurricane Dorian, she suggested that the power of the mind can help deter the hurricane. She wrote, "The Bahamas, Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas may all be in our prayers now. Millions of us seeing Dorian turn away from the land is not a wacky idea. It's a creative use of the power of the mind. 2 minutes of prayer, visualization, meditation for all those in the way of the storm." Jabes,
Yes.
your comments on Marianne Williamson.
I agree.
Let's
This
hear your
is
Marianne
why-
Williamson.
this is
God
why
damn it,
I-
we teed this up for you. Let's
This
hear the
is
Marianne
why
Williamson.
I love her. Oh.
There you
All
go.
you have to do, the storm will not come to you if you visualize it not coming. Right? And I agree with her. That's the beauty of this. I love her.
Yeah, that's not.
I
think-
need
I think
her to
we're
be in
gonna-
the debate, you guys.
We're gonna have to take your children away if you actually agree with this. I think.
Yeah, that's not true.
Look, not for the storm, no. But I think I've been known or guilty of being like, just pretend it's not happening, man. And
Yeah.
it won't happen.
You definitely have.
Is that what?
but-
I don't-
Definitely,
I think
I've
that's
said
happening.
stupid
I
shit
think
like
that's
that.
a little reductive, though. That's not what she's saying. She's saying that we can control the storm with our minds.
with our minds?
Which is.
And I'm saying that as well, just in a different way.
Yeah, but we're not Halle Berry. Okay?
Oh boy.
What?
X-Men.
But yeah, you can't control the storm with your mind, man.
Yeah.
That's not a fucking thing.
Can you not?
No.
Prove it. Prove that she's not.
Okay.
the-
Right now, I'm thinking of the rain stopping.
But it has to be a collective. Now, this is
I'm
what she's
also
saying,
thinking
guys.
of the rain stopping.
Yep.
It has to be a big group, you know,
Right.
so she's getting all of her followers.
Right. So all of you out there in
Very-
Drinkin Bros Land, think about the rain stopping
So if
right
you
now.
think about it, all of us right now,
Yep.
right?
Still raining.
Yeah, it's raining even
Still-
harder
Yeah,
no
it's-
one's,
it's windy.
no
The wind
one's
is
even watching right now, and that's why.
picking up right now. The wind is actually picking up, and so is the rain.
Here's the point. I need her in the debates.
I understand
It's
that.
unfortunate,
but for
she's not,
entertainment
yeah.
purposes
For
only.
entertainment purposes.
This whole thing is for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, I mean,
all
look,
these people are fucking crazy.
Absolutely.
If I could find a way to pay to get Alex Jones in the debates,
Oh, man.
that would be the greatest goddamn thing of all time.
I don't know. He would just shout over other people.
I know. Like,
That's
I
all it
just
is.
Need her.
That's what Bernie's doing. Be kind of great.
Not like Alex Jones, though.
Yeah.
Like, you would have to put a shock collar on him.
I don't see him stopping when they're telling him like
You'd have to cut his mic.
Yeah.
So good though, wouldn't it?
sweaty.
Yeah, coked up.
So like yeah.
Oh, do you think he's on the druggas?
The drogas? Are you kidding me, man?
Son druggas?
Are you kidding me? He's fucking narcos, brother.
And then Williamson
Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
is smoking weed, I think. CBD, weed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be a fun thing.
I picture her though as like a pill girl too. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She looks like
yeah.
that Black Beauty popping housewife from back in the day, for sure.
Right.
Yes.
Black Beauty's
But,
in
like,
the morning,
prescribed.
Xanax at night.
They're
a little volume in
prescribed.
the afternoon. Yeah, they're prescribed.
They're prescribed. My doctor told me. I need to take this.
And look, she's rich, so she's making it work. Look, if you're a functioning drug addict and you're able to be rich, congratulations.
You just got to keep an eye on your liver and kidneys over time. But yeah for the most part, you'll be fine.
Marianne's fine. She's going to think past her
If
liver.
you're rich, though, can't you just get a new one?
Yeah.
Don't they put you to the top of the list? That's what I've heard.
think
You
they bump you
can
up.
buy your way to the top of the list.
Yeah.
I don't know any famous people who don't get new kidneys.
Yeah.
Who was the last
exactly.
one? Selena
or
Gomez?
rich. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but that was her friend. But yeah.
Well,
Well, you know-
how much do you think she paid her fucking friend?
You know, George Lopez got a kidney from his wife.
Yep.
And
And then she got cancer, and he left her while she was dying of cancer.
Yep. Divorced her.
Oh,
So George Lopez is my new hero.
He's a piece of shit.
obviously
that
we
guy.
love him. Friend of the show.
Yeah.
Friend of the show.
Not at all. He hates white people too. Fuck George Lopez.
He is a dirtbag.
Yeah. In L.A., like just known dirtbag where you're just like, all right, cool, man.
To be fair,
Everybody in LA is a dirtbag.
Yeah.
You're right.
There
God
you
damn
go.
it,
There
brother. You're
you
right.
go.
There's the voice of reasoning that we all needed during the storm right there, coming out of that calm, smooth beard.
you know what I've been doing? I've been standing out on my balcony and shouting at the storm like Lieutenant Dan
Yeah.
for hours last night. I didn't sleep at all.
Fun.
I think during a hurricane and or a tornado, because there was one last night in Myrtle Beach. I don't know if you saw it.
Well, I got like 90 goddamn alert
I know.
messages on my phone.
I've been
that
up
woke
all
me
night
up at
from
one.
that.
Like you
Every fucking
motherfuckers.
hour,
I turned them
yes.
off, dude. Fuck you. I
How
don't
do
care.
you turn them off?
You turn the power off
My-
on your phone, yeah.
I'll show you after.
Okay.
But with that, I think you should be allowed to
awful.
fire anything you have at a hurricane
Oh, yeah.
or a tornado. Shotguns, handguns, AR-15s, anything you want, you're going to be allowed to blast
So-
it into
Now,
the
did you-
hurricane.
We've got the rooftop parking, so I'm gonna put a ramp up there and drive my car off into that thing,
There you
and then
go.
detonate a fucking suicide bomb.
It sounds like the last rock movie.
Yes.
You know? Like-
I'm gonna. I have a fucking helicopter on a leash that I'm just carrying around town now. I can't believe nobody's made that meme yet of him.
Oh, with the
Just-
chain on the
Yeah,
helicopter?
yep.
I think people have just bought into the ridiculousness of that, where it's just like, didn't he stop a torpedo in the last
Yeah,
one?
they've definitely turned them
ice?
into superheroes. Whereas I think in the first couple ones, weren't they just like driving fast and jumping cars?
Yeah,
and
they-
now
Yeah.
they can literally like grab cars and like throw them around.
They can jump through buildings, building
Yeah.
to building
Yeah.
the cars.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they've gone off the.
The rails with that.
Sure.
I want somebody to myth bust that one. I want them to try to drive through concrete and then through other concrete into another building and
Sure,
just see how
sure.
that
That
works.
Mythbuster would be about 2 seconds
2
long.
seconds long, yeah. And they'd both be dead.
End of
Yeah.
show. They're both.
Idiots.
They like build it up the whole time of like we're myth busting, build the whole thing.
Yeah. God damn it, though, they've
Blammo.
gotten paid off that franchise. I mean, it is
Blammo.
crazy. That Hobbs and Shaw is near a bill
Yeah.
right now.
Good for them. I'm sure it's entertaining. I'll probably watch it at some point when it comes out on normal TV.
Yeah. If you go into it with that mindset, yeah, it's coming down real hard now, isn't it?
Yeah. I wonder if there's so NASCAR is Monster Energy now, right?
Yeah.
Do you think those cars, if they put drywall on the sides, would have gravity? Like they would just be constantly driving into drywall?
A bunch of Kyles as
Yeah.
cars. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
God damn it, dude.
Be
That's why you
so
can't
great.
have just a Monster Energy car
No.
because it drives through walls all the time.
Like NASCAR's ratings are down. I think it would help if they were driving through drywall at the end.
I think they need to put like booby traps on the track.
Ah, that'd be nice.
Like make it like Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Oil slicks, bombs.
Yeah,
That would make it a little more interesting.
Oh
I
yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Because it's not right
it's
now.
not right
No.
now, man.
And it
It's not,
hasn't.
though.
It hasn't. It was interesting for a little while when Jimmy Johnson was dominating. That was interesting because
And like getting out of cars and,
Dale-
punching
Dale
people
Jr.
and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, Tony Stewart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony Stewart throwing his helmet at other people's windshields. That was
Yeah.
funny. I think Vince McMahon needs to take over NASCAR.
Well, he's
Ooh,
doing the
I
XFL,
like
so
this.
he's busy. I like it too,
oh.
man. He should be doing everything, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. Him and Dana White, because it's about personalities.
Yeah.
If you have a big personality, that's when NASCAR was at its height, was when
Yep.
you had big personalities. Now you got a bunch of fucking, turd bags who were
They're like all dudes from the Midwest who are quiet and like, oh,
rich parents.
yeah.
And they were,
racing,
yeah.
boo.
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Just
I want
boring.
Charlie Sheen from Major League racing all the cars
Mm-hmm.
with the haircut, the fucking music. What?
I want Nick Nolte from 48 Hours Driving, and just screaming like, you know how they patch him in?
God damn it.
Yeah, yeah. damn it. God damn it. Like, I just want to hear that. Every lap for 500 laps.
He gets out of the car like Blue Chips and fucking punts his helmet halfway across the arena.
Throw a little Nolte in there.
Yeah.
On a serious note, it is going to be a Christmas miracle if we make it through the show with this wind and rain right now. Even Alec is over there like, hey, man, is this going down?
Without the, power going out.
He was up all night trying on different underwear.
Well, that is
As
what you do
per
in a
your
hurricane.
request.
Yeah.
As per your request.
I had
Dan.
like $6,000 worth of different types of underwear sent to his house, and he's been trying them on for me and writing reviews.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Sending,
you don't want to
sending
buy the
pics
wrong
of his
pair.
favorite. Yeah.
Well,
Now look, Dan, it's okay.
it's. I didn't ask
He's
him
a
to send the pictures.
consenting, older child.
Yeah.
Is an elder child,
An
right?
elder child, yes.
Man
He's
boy.
A man boy.
Sure.
Man boy. You were
He's
over
of
the
age.
of-
He's
Didn't-
of age, Dan.
Didn't
It's
you
okay.
turn 21 like 3 days ago?
Yes. Happy 21st
Oh,
birthday.
You piece of shit.
Yeah.
Thanks for the underwear.
Because he's got a real
Thanks for the
boyish,
underwear review.
He's got a real boyish face, right? So it's almost 16, and then
If I was going to traffic anyone,
yeah,
it would be Alec. I
Yeah,
think.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Young features. He would go for
Oh.
top dollar. I think.
Epstein.
yeah,
Hey-o.
very expensive on St. James Island, brother. You know what else is kind of expensive? GhostBed.com/Drinkin Bros, but it's not with the deals that we're giving you. The deals that we're giving you are this: 15% off everything in the store, military or first responder. Why? Because you're more important than everybody else. The first responders are going to be working this fucking storm.
Sorry.
And us little dirtbags are going to be huddled up
Calling
inside
him.
the Waffle House.
Come help us.
Yeah, watching our iPhones for the Bears-Packers opener tonight.
If I miss that game tonight, I'm suing everybody.
Oh, boy.
Now,
Starting with you.
Is Wild
because
Wings
your
gonna-
fucking thoughts didn't stop the hurricane.
Exactly.
Because nobody helped me. I
Marianne.
can't do it I cannot do it by myself. Okay? You guys need to always a collective. Okay? And that's why it didn't work. So still not disproven.
At
Anyway.
ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros, you can get the protective cover on the mattress. That'll protect you from the hurricane. It's waterproof from hurricanes.
Oh yes, I heard that.
That's
yeah.
a fact. So that means if you're dating and or married to a squirter, it'll keep that mattress safe as well. So if it's good enough for a hurricane, it's good enough for your wife and or girlfriend. Who
Look,
squirts.
I don't like the premise that you need to be married to or dating someone to be banging a squirter in your own bed.
That's true, and I want to
Yeah.
apologize to
That
those.
you just shamed a lot
I
of people.
did.
out
I don't.
there.
I don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
one night shame people.
No,
I don't. So it's all you whores out there as well, men and women whores. Get a ghostbed.com and get that protective covering. Never know what's going to shoot out of those holes at the end of the night.
You
As
want
always,
to comment on that?
No.
36
No.
months pay as you go, no interest program.
Thank you, Dan. For trying to
Ghostbed.com
include me.
/Drinkin Bros. That was the wrong thing to include Jesse on. You know? Hey, do you want to get into the one night squirts or?
Did you hear
One
about
night squirts.
what comes out of those holes
Yeah, any holes
at the end
by
of the
way.
night?
Next up, Beto O'Rourke. Love him. Speaking about cultural misappropriation here at the top.
Yeah.
Not knowing where you're from. Beto O'Rourke vows mandatory buyback of assault weapons if elected president. He says Americans who own AR-15s, AK-47s will have to sell them to the government. We're not going to allow them to stay on our streets, to show up in our communities, or to be used against us in our synagogues, our churches, our mosques, our Walmarts, or public places.
Did he just refer to
about
Walmart as a
Target?
fucking house of worship? Is that
Yeah, that's a strange. It's a strange because it's again. I'm going to repeat this for the audience because this is an exact quote verbatim: synagogues, churches, mosque, or our WalMarts. That's right after mosque.
For a lot of people, that's a religious.
Oh yeah,
You know,
for
that's
sure.
a church.
It kind of reminds me
Yeah.
of that song "Murder on My Mind."
Yes.
Like the way it starts. He starts out with he can't roll weed or do anything, and he can't. And then the second verse is that he can't check his Instagram or say hi to his mom.
Right.
So weed, and then Instagram and mom.
right.
Yep.
Right.
Right there.
Onesie twosies there
Mm-hmm.
in the old combo.
And that's why he's in jail for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Fucking
He's a
stupid.
Idiot.
At any rate, this guy's out of his goddamn mind.
Yeah, I what's the price tag, right? So let's say I'm your fucking typical pussy liberal, and I come in and I've got an AR-15, right? Dan, you be the government in this scenario.
Yeah,
Hi, want to apologize. I have this AR-15, and I know you just got elected president, and I need to give this to you to buy back. How much are you going to give me for this?
I wouldn't give you shit for it because I wouldn't be trying to buy your goddamn gun in the first place. But it depends on the model. Like, I don't know what they're planning on doing here, but if it's
that's how much would it
that's
cost?
my point, Dan. So with this, right? What's the number you're going to give these people back, right? If you're going to buy shit back, put a price tag on it. At least Andrew Yang, who's running, has a number that he's going to give people per month for that universal income to live. He's got an exact number. If you're going to talk shit like this, right? What's your number then to buy back these fucking guns?
Look, he just makes shit up.
Which one?
Beto. Like,
Okay.
nothing he says
No,
has
no,
any
no, no.
substance to it at all.
So
And it changes every day.
how much is an AR-15?
I mean, you can get AR-15s anywhere from $500-$600 to like thousands of dollars. It depends on what kind it is.
Okay. So you're just going to roll up to the White House with your AR-15 and say, hi, do you have my check for what I paid for this?
Well, he says, I mean, like, mandatory buyback. First of all, the phrase buyback, I didn't buy it from you, bitch. So you're not buying it back. You're confiscating my weapon. It's like, it's basically, what's it called? The land appropriation thing.
with the Indians.
Oh, no.
The reparations.
Nope. I can't remember.
Cherokee Nations. Nope.
Reservations.
No, it's eminent domain, but for weapons.
Yes.
Basically.
Casinos.
No.
Nope.
Eminent domain is where the government can designate
Dances
a
with
piece
wolves.
of privately owned property as necessary for the government or community. Then they can make you an offer at what they think market value is, and you were forced to take it, or they'll boot you out of the fucking place.
Ah, that's right. That's what they did in Brooklyn for Jay-Z's new arena.
They did that
for
quite a bit,
Brooklyn Nets.
actually.
Yeah, they're doing it in L.A. right now. So it's happening in Los Angeles for that new stadium in Inglewood, and it's going to be a shock to the audience, but Inglewood's about to be gentrified as well because of this stadium. They bought up all the land and existing.
It used to be like basically that concrete fence that goes around Inglewood. You know what I mean? Like when you're leaving LAX, you can see that shit from the highway. And now it's going to be, I don't know.
A mega
Are
center.
they going to knock that thing down like the Berlin Wall or what?
So they already ripped up the horse track.
Really?
Yeah, and everything around it.
Holy
and
shit.
That track is exactly where that stadium is going. And then they're buying up the houses around it and businesses.
Was that Hollywood Park?
Yes, Hollywood Park. And what they're going to do is, since the Rams and Chargers are playing there, they're going to make it like, hey, you can take a train there. You can commute.
Mm-hmm.
It's super white and friendly. Don't be afraid of Inglewood anymore. And it's all going to change. And so is Compton, by the way. So they're slowly buying up parts of Compton. And there was a realtor that was trying to sell my buddy a house. And he was like, hey, I've got this place in Compton. My buddy was like, are you fucking joking me? And he goes, no, I know. But they're slowly doing that as well. So it's just going to keep moving east at that point. But
This is all bullshit, by the way. This whole thing with the left, they're full of shit.
Yeah.
Like every one of these principles. So they want to run entire campaigns on banning assault weapons, but they don't want to do shit about handguns in inner cities. You know what I mean? Which account for like a majority of gun deaths. And then they don't want to do anything about mental health either. There's nothing in any of these bills about mental health. And 67% of all gun deaths are suicides. They're full of shit.
Yeah, and that was the reason I brought up L.A. in particular with that land, the land issue, because you're not helping your communities. You're just eliminating them.
They don't care about helping the community.
Nothing.
They fucking champion public unions or whatever the fuck, and then send their kids to private school. They talk about the Green New Deal, and they take private jets. These people are full of shit.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Fuck him is what I say. But look, Beto, I don't know how he made it. I mean, I think what is it? You had to register at 2%.
2% and
I think he barely
130,000
hit it.
individual contributors.
Yeah.
Those are the two requirements, I
That's
believe.
the thing with him is the people that are backing him just cannot admit that he is not going to.
Oh yeah.
Because they put in so much already that they're just like, we've got to take this all the way.
Well,
physically, again, he that is the exact appearance of what they wanted their candidates to look like. Mentally, he is
Losing
borderline
it.
retarded.
Borderline retarded, and he's losing it. He looks like
frail,
pale.
Yeah, like I said before, he looks like the kind of guy that folds his dick in half. He doesn't get erections. He just folds it in half and eases it on in there.
Yeah, like a floppy disk.
And he doesn't make eye contact either. He just looks down and to the right like this until
it's over.
Then he apologizes and goes back to his own room because they sleep in separate rooms.
Yeah. Twin beds in separate rooms. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is he your get fucked of the week? This guy.
He and the entire left right now are my get fucked of the week. The other point I was going to make is that the healthcare thing in the last debates.
Yeah.
So they all want to fucking have universal healthcare, which I think is not the worst idea, by the way. But every single one of them, other than two, said they would keep their private health insurance and fuck everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like a fucking theme with these guys. At least the right is consistent. Sometimes they're consistently assholes, but they're at least consistent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The left is all over the place.
They can't get their party together. It seems too fractioned at this point, and I don't know what you do for it, because you've got the hard, radicals, AOC and those guys, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, socialists, and then you got the other, like, traditional Democrats, and they're kind of fighting against each other. I don't know what happens. You see that Biden thing last night where he showed up at that event with the bloody eye?
What?
Yeah. Little
by
little.
What, did he get in a bar fight? Because I could see Joe Biden getting in a bar fight, to be honest.
So if you go to, like, it was on Drudge Report, it's still there. Biden eye fills with blood, and there's a shot of it, and you're like, man, when did that happen? Did he get punched? I mean, this picture keeps going around today, and everybody keeps saying that he's stammering at these events and he's having a hard time getting through them.
Yeah, I don't know. This is the same shit they were talking about Hillary last time.
But it was true. She really did have epilepsy.
She was sick for a little while. I mean, I don't think she has epilepsy.
The glasses are what tipped her off. Those blue tinted glasses for the sun.
Like
for
these?
Seizures, yeah.
Yeah. Well, those are computer glasses for
How do you know they weren't for that? Because she's on her phone all the time and she's old as shit.
No. We're talking the old SpaceX, the sissy SpaceX glasses, those blue ones.
Like blue blockers?
Yeah. Because it's sunlight. That's, partly to cause
light-induced seizures.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's fine. I mean, you can be epileptic and be president.
I mean,
you could.
I mean, FDR had polio. I think we can get past that.
Yeah.
There's
worse things about, but she didn't, Dan. So
there's worse things about Hills.
That's the point. She didn't do it, thankfully.
No, and she never will.
Nah,
by the way.
Nah, she's all done with that.
Who do you think is going to be the first woman president?
Gut reaction, I would say Nikki Haley out of South Carolina. I think she's really likable, very, very smart.
She made it through that whole Mark Sanford situation. Not that she was involved, but she was, around that area then without getting any dirt on her. And you got to think that the left probably looked pretty hard because they chipped him off and they could have destroyed South Carolina politics for a long time.
There won't be one in my lifetime.
Really? Mm-mm. Yeah, so 2024 is where I'm eyeing Nikki Haley, to be honest with you.
Maybe as a Veep.
Mm-mm.
I don't think so, man.
It has to start there.
She's a boss ass bitch, dude. And she was, what was she doing? Foreign.
She was the ambassador to UN, right?
Correct. Yeah. For what, 2 or 3 years, and
after being governor.
Mm-hmm. So the rumor is that she's setting up for 2024. I think it's, to be honest, her and probably Crenshaw.
Maybe.
In that race in 2024.
Yeah, I could see that.
But if you're going to do it, I think that's the time there. So
that'll be an interesting race because if I'm the left, I try to nominate Buttigieg and Tulsi Gabbard to combat that one.
Yeah.
And it's like just a slew of veterans on different sides of the aisle.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting race.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. But then there's always somebody new that pops up out of nowhere where you're like, all right, great. Like, fuck, nobody even heard of Obama when he came up.
At the 2004 convention, DNC, that's where he became really popular.
Yeah, but where you're gaining steam, but you don't have like Biden. Biden was a VP. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that was a big boy job.
He had built-in
correct. Yeah.
Name
well,
recognition.
he's been he was a congressman at age 29.
Yeah.
And he's never had a real job in his life. So,
well,
I mean,
some say working for the government, Dan, is a real job, but
being an elected official is not a real job. It's bullshit.
I don't know,
and all
man.
those people are full of shit.
We were at a party the other night with an elected official.
We were, and he had the thing on the outside
yeah.
where you put your phone.
Very serious.
Ooh, because he had to get it at a moment's notice.
Was he
right?
an Indian man that worked in IT?
No.
He looked.
No,
Interesting.
it looked Italian.
Yeah. Italian.
It looked Italian. It looked
you-
very Olive Garden.
Yeah. Well, that's not Italian.
I'm not going to say who it is. Our producer shouted something off camera that I'm not allowed to say.
Yeah, it was a politician in town.
That's all we're going to say. And yes, Jamie, you are correct. In actual American news, with American people with American names, unlike Beto, Marshall Plumlee, former NBA player, 7-footer, and brother of current NBA player Mason and Miles, just graduated Ranger School and transitioned from National Guard to active duty.
Yep.
That's amazing, actually.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not a Pat Tillman situation where he left in his prime. He wasn't really a very good NBA player.
But you can be a very mediocre NBA player and make a lot of money. You're still walking away from millions of dollars.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So
yeah,
that's a big boy move.
Yeah.
Shit.
I don't know if I would want to be a 7-footer and
that sounds like a
look,
nightmare.
He can't be in aviation or armor because their height requirements. Like you can't be, I think, over 6'7" or something like that. Mm-hmm. He could be infantry. There's a lot of stuff he could do. He could be chemical, I guess. I don't know what his MOS is, but I would not want to be 7 foot tall in the Army. He's an officer, so he can get away with more shit than some people. But you don't want to be in war and be a foot taller than everybody else.
You don't want to be 7 foot just in
general,
life.
yeah.
I don't know. A lot of guys have had a good time being 7 foot tall, but
You do until you get on a
Depends.
plane.
Yeah.
And then,
well, I think if you're that big, you just got to play sports and get your own plane. Really?
Yeah, but the problem is sometimes you can't. So we had a 7-footer at my high school, right?
Yep.
On the basketball team. He was white. I definitely knew he was not making the NBA. And all I kept thinking to myself throughout high school was, man, what's this guy going to do at 7 feet tall and not an NBA player? He ended up getting a scholarship to a D1 school, so he got an education.
Yeah.
But bench, wasn't very good, kind of played sporadic minutes. And then I saw him playing acoustic guitar at a coffee shop about 3 years after I graduated at college. Wait, here's the funny thing. So imagine a 7-footer on a stool at a Starbucks playing.
Looked like a ukulele.
Yes,
probably.
that's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if it was a normal-sized guitar.
Yeah, or do you get bigger so that you look proportioned?
That's what I thought. So it really did look like a ukulele in his hands where it was so awkward to watch, and you were just like, and he had a ponytail, the whole thing, I'm an acoustic musician, and you were like, dude, I don't know a 7-footer.
No. Hosier,
Hosier,
or whatever.
yeah.
How tall is he?
I think he was like 6'7", maybe.
And he looked
It
out
looked
of
so awkward, right?
It looked very awkward. Like
He's 6'5",
Yeah.
according to the internets, the online internets.
Even Blake Shelton, who's probably only like 6'3", 6'4", right?
very awkward on
Looks
stage.
very awkward with a guitar.
Hard
in his
for
hand.
him to move.
Vince Gill is 6'7".
Is he really?
Yeah.
Really?
No wonder.
Keeps
He's always had
himself bigger though.
Well, here's the
right?
thing. I think because he's 6'7", this makes sense because they're always shooting up at him,
Yeah.
and it looks like he's had double chin since like 1983.
Yeah.
Now that he's 6'7", no, they probably just couldn't get the fucking tripod up that high.
Yep.
God damn it, man. Sorry, Vince Gill.
Well,
Well,
he's rich, so.
yeah, he's okay.
But
He's gonna be
still, I'm
fine.
sorry.
No, I know, and he's probably been just thinking about how you've talked about him throughout the years.
Yeah, he and
While
Amy-
he's just sleeping on his money, he goes, fucking
Yeah.
Ross keeps talking about my fucking double chin, dude,
Every
and
morning-
I cannot get it out of my head.
Every morning, Amy Grant wakes him up, and she's like, "Did you see what fucking Ross said about you?"
Wait, are they together?
Are they gonna?
They've been married for 30 fucking years. You
Really?
serious?
That's
Yes.
a power couple.
Yeah.
No, I've actually never said anything about Vince Gill.
Well, fuck him.
Well,
I have now.
and we will now.
I have now. We should send him some Black Rifle coffee from blackriflecoffee.com. Promo code DrinkinBros20. That'll get you through the day, won't it?
Yeah,
it
well,
really will. It is.
It'll get you through the hurricanes.
Did you
is
put
what
some
it'll do.
booze in that?
Yeah.
Some booze. Yeah, I put a couple different kinds of booze.
A little bit of
'cause
Baileys?
Coffee needs a couple different kinds of booze.
Yeah.
You can't just put one type in there, right?
You can't. It is really coming down out there.
I like whiskey, but the Bailey's does make it a little nicer.
Just to cut it a tiny bit.
Just
yeah, I know the classic Irish coffee is just Jameson and like black coffee, right? Which is like insane to me.
I don't know. Is it?
A little bit of cream maybe. But classic Irish coffee I don't think has Bailey's in it.
I actually don't know.
I like when I drink my coffee, I like it Mambo number 5. I like a little bit of Monica. Nope. Okay. That was a terrible hurricane joke. We're telling terrible hurricane jokes here.
I think Evan's going to dispatch an assassin to kill you for making that joke in the middle of a Black Rifle read.
Yeah.
We're not used to going this early in the morning on Drinkin' Bros, so I'm sorry for that last joke, and I will be ending my life after the show. Next up, the Trump administration is considering using Amazon Echo and Apple Watch to determine if citizens should own a gun. What's the watch going to do there? I wonder if it shocks the gun out of your hand. It's like, oh, hey, that's the wrong
what
person.
Is it supposed to see?
They want to
like
use the active listening feature on these devices to monitor people and their social media and other communication to see if they're to determine if they're fucked in the head.
Okay.
But again, just to get into this proposal is part of an initiative to create a new agency called Health Advanced Research Projects Agency, or HARPA, which is named after DARPA, basically, like the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, who created the internet and all this shit. It's supposed to be specifically a research arm and not an enforcement arm. So the title of that article is kind of misleading a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just to collect information to see if something can be done. But that's, look, technically, there's nothing illegal about it. It's all public information. And if it's in the end user license agreement, then you've signed up to fucking let people monitor your shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess that's my thing is, don't they already do that? Or aren't they already able to do that? Like, if they want to get any... So you're saying to prevent it?
The way the law works... And I've dealt with this working in data and marketing for a while. You have to put something on your website or in the EULA, the end user license agreement, for 14 days. It has to be visible for 14 days, and then you can change it to anything you want. Right? You can collect any amount of information, do whatever the fuck you want, as long as it's. And you don't even have to let people know. You just have to add it in there, and it's like the iTunes agreement back in the day. It's like 6,000 pages long.
Yeah.
So people
like,
are just like, fuck this, click.
Agree.
Yeah. I've never
do
once
that with everything.
Yeah, I've never once in my life read one of those disclosures or disclaimers.
Look, man, the fucking Chinese government has stolen my entire life twice.
Yeah.
From the U.S. government because the U.S. government's incompetent. So at this point, I don't give a shit about my privacy. There is none.
Yeah, and there's also a fun fact. There's about a 5'6" guy named Huang who is Dan Holloway over in China right now.
Oh yeah. He's
living it up.
Very angry. 2 small dogs that he will cannibalize at some point.
Yep.
And this is also well within the president's scope of power to do. Like he can direct and control. He can't create a new agency by himself, but he can say, hey, we want to spend X amount of the FBI's money this year on this, and no one can really stop him from doing that.
Well, I just assumed that everybody was listening to all of our shit and everything else anyways, so I've pretty much given up on hope that I have any form of privacy left.
Yep. But we can't allow this to be a decision-making mechanism. Like, the government couldn't roll out a website for healthcare that I could have made on Angel Fire in 1999 in 20 fucking minutes.
Right.
Like a basic fucking database.
Yeah.
They couldn't get that right.
No.
So I really don't want them creating technology that's going to decide my constitutional rights. You know what I mean?
Here's what I don't want. I don't want to know. I don't care if you do it. I just don't want to know about it. I'm like Jesse on this, where ignorance is bliss in that world, where it's like, great, man, you can spy on my whole shit, but I don't want to know about it. When I know about it is when I become paranoid, where it's just like, oh, fuck, what am I doing now?
Well, that's it's kind of too late for that, right?
I think.
For what?
To live in fucking cognitive dissonance that you're not being spied on all the time.
Yeah, it is too late. It is.
So
but with this, Apple Watches and all this, I don't want to know that, man. Just keep it to yourself, bro. All this new technology shit that's coming out, it's like, dude, don't tell me about it, man. Just keep spying on me.
Sure.
Keep watching me.
Keep sending me ads.
Yeah.
for stuff that I want and need and have talked about.
Keep watching me smearing rotisserie chicken all over my genitalia, and
Right.
I don't care. I don't care.
So based on people's conversations that they're recording, they're going to decide whether you can have
It didn't
a
really.
firearm.
It didn't really get into all that.
Okay, so I'm just
But it's for research
That's-
purposes only right now.
Okay.
So it's it's I don't know. It's an algorithm that monitors social media and other stuff.
Mm-hmm. If somebody's monitoring,
I don't mind that.
if somebody's monitoring it, Dan, I don't think you get to have one then.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the
probably
dark
not,
shit
no.
you post,
Yeah.
they'd be like, no,
Yeah.
Yep.
we're not giving that guy a gun.
Yep.
So I could see why you wouldn't like it. I post every once a year, and
Yep.
it's usually just a
Christmas thing,
just
it's a boomerang.
boring white girl bullshit.
Yeah.
So, and if they decide that I can't have one based on that,
Then hey,
I wasn't supposed to.
yeah, you weren't supposed to.
No,
How's
fuck
that shawl? You warm?
I was hot. Yeah, no.
that's nice. That's a
yeah,
nice
isn't
poncho.
it nice?
Poncho
I bet it's
slash shawl.
very flattering.
I just
Yeah,
want
it
to go
is.
on record that the government can suck my dick.
Cool.
Oh,
man.
sure.
By the way,
sure.
like,
Actually, somebody's here to take your gun right now.
To take
so
you
Yep.
actually
Yeah.
away.
You know what it takes to take guns is other guns.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
fair.
good luck,
That's
friend.
fair.
The average fucking beat cop's not gonna outshoot me.
I'd like that challenge. Maybe there's one out there who's
No,
saying,
we used
man,
to do that at Fort Bragg all the time.
Did
We
you
used to
really?
have shooting competitions all the time, and cops fucking suck at shooting, dude.
Yeah.
It's not their fault though. Mainly, it's like budgetary shit. They don't have guys who go out and do it on their own. And you could talk to Mike the cop or Mike Coonahan or any of these guys that are like Mike
Were
the
they
cop.
military first, though?
No, but I don't know. No, neither one of those guys were. I don't
Okay.
think. Maybe Mike, but
Maybe Mike.
Mike Coonan or Mike the cop spends his free time training jujitsu all the time.
Really?
Mike Coonahan is a fucking bodybuilder who trains in jujitsu and fucking dynamic firing and all this other bullshit. There are a lot of dudes out there that take it super seriously, but the average police officer, like the coward from Broward, for example,
Right. That guy's probably not spending his weekends
no,
at the
he's spending
range.
his weekends fishing, which
Yeah.
is fine.
Eh.
You need to decompress sometimes, but that's a dangerous job. I wouldn't go into it half-ass like that.
Fishing?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's why I'm wearing
Yeah,
this.
Yeah, you got that fishing
Yeah.
jersey on because it's a real sport. Next up, speaking of technology, an AI system just passed an 8th grade science test.
Yeah, we were talking about those sex robots the other day.
Yeah.
They were strangling people and shit, or
Oh, can you pay extra for that? or is
Yeah,
that- I
that's
mean-
next level.
no, they're like malfunctioning and killing people.
Yeah.
Oh, well, look, you just need like an off switch, right?
Wow. Sometimes you can't turn it off.
Look,
Yeah,
no, here's the
sometimes
thing.
You can't, wherever
Instead
the
of doing-
position is.
Instead of doing autoerotic asphyxiation,
Mhm.
Sure.
you have a button in your hand that's a kill switch, and you just have you're fucking this robot and it's choking the shit out of you.
Right.
Right.
Or it's a dead man switch on your chest, so when you fall over and hit it, when you fall over and hit it, it kills the thing.
But what they're saying in this is that it wasn't, you weren't asking them to choke you. They on their own
Yeah.
are strangling
how
people.
would it know?
AI, Dan.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
look.
Think about it. If you were fucking a robot and they knew your mind,
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
you'd
yeah.
be choked
Oh,
in
yeah.
30
If you
seconds.
programmed it
Yeah.
to know you and really know you,
Yeah.
blammo.
So,
You're getting things up your butt and you're getting fucking strangled.
the average American reads at a 7th to 8th grade level.
Mm-hmm.
So this thing is now caught up to the average American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to be their pets one day.
I can't wait, dude.
This is the least surprising thing of all time. This is like every fucking movie that they've been shooting for 30 years now is coming to life. And it's only a matter of time before we're eating out of bowls on the ground and we're their animals.
It's weird though, right? Like we've been warning ourselves about this for 40 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And now we're just like, hey, we should make this shit. See what happens.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Like, no, brother.
No.
There's no way it's going to turn out the way people think this whole time. There's no way,
Yeah.
right?
And it's got to be a chase for money, right? Because that's the only reason to do this shit is like, hey, man,
It's for automation,
yeah.
for sure.
And so you can sell it and make money off of the
Yeah.
patents and the whole shit. But the problem is, 50, 60 years down the road, when we're on a metal chain and that's it, you're not going to be able to fight a robot.
Look, I'll be dead by then.
Yes,
I
you
don't
will be.
care what happens after I die.
Yeah,
I barely care what happens now.
I know. But
Are you all right? What are you doing?
I need that plug.
50, 60 years. What do you
Yeah.
need down there?
Nothing.
Nah, you're good to go.
Something at Dan's feet.
Things are getting crazy in the technology world, so you should protect yourself with expressvpn.com/drinking bros.
Protect that digital butthole.
Yeah, protect that digital butthole. New slogan. Dan came up with that on his own, and now expressvpn.com/drinking bros is using that slogan worldwide.
Yeah, I'm leaving the show and going to work for them full time now.
Yeah, you created a slogan that is memorable,
They said, you got something, kid.
child friendly, and
Leave those two losers that you're fucking doing fake news with.
Yep, and come with
us.
protect our buttholes.
Play with the big boys, they said.
Digitally. It's a seamless app that runs in the background of your laptops, desktops, and iPhones or iPads. Look, everybody's trying to steal your shit, your info. Dan's got his jacked, 8 times now? Something crazy
Twice.
like that? Yeah.
Of course it was Asians.
Yeah. Oh, Jesse. We don't like
course
casual
it was.
racism on this show.
Towards Asians, though, right?
Well,
No, we decided that. Like, every show, I have to keep explaining myself. It's like they're blatant disregard.
yeah, but
Stealing fucking-
you need a little Asian running in the background of your computer so it doesn't get hacked. That little Asian man is expressvpn.com/drinking bros.
Do you think it's like a shogun? Is like a dude dressed in samurai armor
100%.
with a sword? That's what I visualize in my head.
100%.
And he's got a pet dragon.
Yeah.
And the dragon's got a big old dick.
Yep. And that's what's protecting
Ross
your
is
computer.
confused about the technology, but yeah, I think
Maybe I'm not.
basically.
Maybe
I
I'm
don't know
not.
if you're qualified to say that because you can't even turn your goddamn phone sound
It's
off.
crazy
Look, it
production.
was-
I
it was-
need to plug this in. Go to expressvpn.com/drinking
kids.
bros. Put that app in the background of your iPhone, just like Jesse has.
Chappelle said it best.
And boom, you're good to go. $7 a month with the Drinkin' Bros URL. They'll give you 3 months for free. It's almost like stealing from a VPN that protects you from stealing. That's how cheap it is.
Yeah.
ExpressVPN4.com. Good with all that. Next up.
You know, by the
Sorry.
way, that was the first time you've read that ad and you didn't fuck up laptops, desktops.
Probably not.
Usually you say hard tops, and I don't know what the
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
that even
Hard
is.
top
I like
and
a nice
soft
hard
top.
top.
Pee-wee's Big Top.
Hard
the whole
top,
situation.
soft top.
Ooh, a drop top.
Put
You
the-
love a good
get
drop
that
top.
Gladiator one out there. Get the little pickup truck that goes down.
What's that?
I like those, by the way. Somebody posted that in Drinkin' Bros. Whoever that was, I'm going to tell you this. I like that Gladiator Jeep truck.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This guy got shamed. He got Jeep truck shamed on Drinkin' Bros. I'm
know,
going to
what
say
the
I'm with you,
fuck,
my man.
dude?
I like that thing. I think it's fucking dope.
Not a fan.
Really? Why not?
It just looks weird.
Yeah. Mentally, you've got to embrace technology. That's what Jamie always says. Boom.
No.
Nailed
Our
it.
producer is laughing off camera because Ross is such a piece of shit when it comes to technology.
Hate it. Don't need it.
Well, look at your hat. Clearly you hate
This
it.
is a hurricane hat, man. That
The only thing that's protecting you from is getting laid, friend.
This is very cousin Eddie. The last time I wore this was to the Chiefs game.
Oh
Remember?
yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Did you buy it there?
No, I bought it online before because they said with the wind chill at that
Oh,
game
it
it
was
was going to be
brutal, yeah.
-4 or whatever it was.
That was
and
brutal.
yeah, I wore this all game, and everybody was coming up taking pictures with cousin Eddie. Shitter's full.
Gosh.
Yeah,
I just can't win.
you're
right
a
there.
lucky lady.
I mean, it
Jabes.
goes from,
It's on the back of Dan's computer if you're watching the video show on YouTube.
yeah.
Right there, cousin Eddie.
Yep.
The
It's crazy how much you don't care if I find you attractive or not.
Well, we're doing it. We're doing a TV show, Jabes. It's not. This isn't.
Just in general.
This isn't real life,
No,
is
you
it?
know, sometimes they need to hear what we talk about.
They don't. They don't at all.
They care, okay?
Take
They
this
care.
next one with the SF board here, D'Anthony.
Yeah, so the San Francisco Board of Supervisors has officially declared the NRA a domestic terrorist organization.
Are you allowed to do that?
How is it? Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't do anything. They're the
To-
board of Supervisors. So this is where Dianne Feinstein got her start, by the way. That's her first political job. So that where she served with Harvey Milk back in the day, this is where it was, in that Board of Supervisors. These people are all fucking crazy. I don't give a fuck about the NRA. I think it's become pretty pointless. I mean, it's just a gun lobby now. That's all it is. All they lobby just like big pharmaceutical and the military industrial complex and all the other bullshit. The difference is the NRA's base, like the people they sell to, are just people who already own guns. The NRA's never convinced a person who doesn't like guns to buy guns and then go out and hurt somebody. That's fucking stupid, man.
That's what I never understood.
No, it's so dumb. Like all they do is hype people up when Democrats are in office or about to get in office, so they buy more guns.
About their rights, basically.
Yeah.
But the NRA doesn't actually do anything to protect these rights. They just sell guns. So they're useless. They're a bunch of corporate shills. But they're not a fucking terrorist organization. That's stupid.
Yeah, that's strange. So what do you do with that? When a city declares you as a domestic terrorist, is it only for that city? Because it's...
Yeah.
Okay. So in San Francisco, if you're a member of the NRA,
I don't know
what happens
I don't
to you
know.
there?
San
I don't know.
Francisco is not even a real place anymore.
No. They're
No,
letting people
it's-
shit
It
in the
doesn't even
streets.
fucking exist.
No, it's like I don't know what the enforcement version of this is. Like if you were part of Al Qaeda, admitted part of Al Qaeda, you would go to jail. So can you go to jail in San Francisco in the city now for, like, are you fucking kidding me?
For what? Being a member?
For donating to the NRA? Or having an NRA
Yeah, how does
event,
that work?
Or having a sticker on your car, you drive through San Francisco, now you get pulled over and thrown in jail? Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
But the thing is, like, you would be anyways, because that's how that fucking city is now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can say that, but that's how people are going to treat you anyway
Yeah, I mean,
out there.
there's a lot of rich conservatives in San Francisco. They just don't talk a whole lot.
Where are they?
They live all over the city there.
Oh, okay.
They're rich, though, so they don't really care about these issues. They do what they want.
You know,
for the
it's
most part.
it's funny you bring that up. So some friends of ours live there. Two of our beef fries. You know them as well, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to say their name, but
Yeah.
Anthony, you're friends with them as well.
Okay.
They're out there, and they say the same thing. Where when they go to these parties, and these Silicon Valley parties, like there is little people who break off and be like, "Hey, man, I fucking love Trump, dude. He's awesome." Peter, is it Peter Thiel?
The guy from
He's
Peter from PayPal.
There's
right?
one that was a gigantic Trump supporter. He spoke at the Republican National Convention.
Crazy
He
dude.
was at PayPal for a while, and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he owns a software company that provides intelligence software to the government. I've used his stuff quite a bit.
Yeah, so he's one of them,
Yeah.
and allegedly he's been shunned by the others. You know,
Well,
Zuckerberg
there's
and
another
those guys.
story down the list here that we'll get into about that guy named Isaiah Washington. But for now, San Francisco, shut the fuck up until you can clean the human shit up out of your streets.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, get fucked, dude. Get out of here.
We don't even listen to you right now.
No.
No, and it's one of those cities where when any of these laws that comes down from Trump and all that other shit, like they're the
Yeah.
first court. What is it? The Ninth District.
Ninth Circuit.
Yeah.
That's why I left immigration.
Yeah.
Like I started off as an intern and started doing intel work for them, and we were sending all kinds of cases up, and ICE wouldn't prosecute them because they were so worried that the Ninth Circuit would create bad case law because
Yeah.
of that. So like it's completely fucked out there.
Yeah, there's safe spaces for heroin users now out
yeah.
there. Humans are shitting in the street. They have the poop police, is what they call it.
Yeah.
Who make $88,000 a year
Something
plus
crazy, yeah.
benefits,
Yeah.
and so by you saying the NRA is a domestic terrorist organization,
It's
look,
just business as usual. As far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned
San
out there.
Francisco
That
as a
means
city
nothing.
they're basically the city version of Marianne Williamson.
yeah, we'll think around
Fair.
it. Yeah,
Fair.
I will look around the
I'll
shit
allow it.
and pretend that it's small piles of dirt that a tree is going to sprout up, and that's how we're going to live our lives. Speaking of trees, Christmas has come early. Cocaine, nose candy, booger sugar, washed ashore in Florida after Hurricane Dorian.
Like 25 fucking kilos.
25
bro.
kilos,
At
hombre.
least. Like that was only one time.
Who found him? What has happened?
The
Bunch of people.
police.
Yeah.
Oh, the police.
Well, some dickhead called.
Yeah.
God
It's always
damn it,
it's always
dude.
some asshole who calls in and says, "I found millions of dollars worth in cocaine."
Opioids are killing our kids.
Don't
It's
do
like,
something.
Fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Give me my pills back.
If you find there was a Drinkin bro
Wait,
actually.
what?
Yeah.
Is that what we're
exactly.
talking about?
No,
Oh, okay,
not
go
even
ahead.
close. There was
Sorry.
a Drinkin
Took
bro
a
who
hard
found
left turn.
that cocaine in his wall. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
And posted a picture of it the other day.
Yeah, he should have sent it to our P.O. box. You want to read out our P.O. box right quick?
P.O. Box 3793, Wilmington, North Carolina, 28406.
Yeah, so if you find cocaine in your wall, send it on Dan's way
Yeah,
here.
or just any pills or whatever you want down here.
yeah.
We got some friends. But yeah, when I see stories like this, obviously I think silver lining, one,
Yep.
to the hurricane. Like, hey, there's something positive
Yeah,
happened.
for all the people who died in the Bahamas, at least we got some free cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they would appreciate that.
Yeah.
If they
Look.
knew that, they'd be like, okay,
Yeah, they would be fine with it.
we're all right.
We lost our homes, but
Yeah,
some
but-
affluent white people got cocaine.
Got their
for free.
cocaine, so that's good.
Yeah.
No, but some fucking narc,
Some chud.
Yep.
dork,
By the
dork
way,
patrol
find
called
out who
the
this
police.
guy is and just know
Exactly.
that you cannot trust him.
There's a reason why they're not naming the beachgoer.
Yeah, we can already give her name. It's Karen.
Yeah.
Thanks, Karen.
Well,
for-
Karen.
speaking of beachgoers, I've decided to skip our Texas trip and the cruise, and I'm just gonna cruise around Carolina Beach waiting for cocaine to show up now.
I'm gonna go on my own cruise.
any second now.
Because if I
it'll be
find
washing
25
ashore.
kilos,
Yep.
like I could buy my own cruise ship. at
Yeah,
that
you're
point.
good. You're good after that.
And none of you assholes are invited.
Thank
what
you.
fucking loser called the police?
Crazy,
I
right?
don't know, dude. Can you imagine finding that amount of drugs?
Look
like I
around.
would look around just like before you tell a
For
racist joke.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then grab that cocaine.
Put it in my windbreaker.
Would you be wearing a windbreaker?
Yeah, because I'm a beachgoer.
Got it.
During the rainstorm.
Yeah.
So I'm obviously a loser.
This reminds me of that story in Atlanta a few weeks back where the Brinks truck opened up on the highway and all the money spilled out. And so they got on the news and said, hey, guys, if you find any of this cash, because people were just pulling over on the highway, just grabbing what they could.
Yeah.
And they got on the news and they're like, hey, guys, if you found any of this cash, please return it because it is stolen money.
No,
and that's
it's
not
not.
the thing. Right? So out of the thousands of dollars that spilled out of the back of this truck, there was $800 that somebody did return and walked into the police station and said, I found that money on the highway.
If it was $800, I would probably return it. If it was $8,000, no fucking, because I don't care about $800. But if it was $8,000, no. Sorry.
800? Come on,
It's
brother.
not, it's not enough money to fucking risk any, because technically it's not stolen, but you're required to turn it into the police, and if nobody claims it after 30 days, you can keep it. That's how
Nope,
it works.
spending that as fast as I can, going through the drive-through of Mickey D's and loading up.
I want $800 worth of Big Macs. I'm sorry, sir. How many Big Macs? $800 worth,
800.
bitch.
You heard me, okay? I was just driving on the highway, and I'm starving now. Load them up.
And your trunk would be filled with Big Macs, unlike Casey Anthony's trunk, which was
Yikes. Gonna stop you
Wow,
right there.
That
What was
was
the-
a reach.
There was a
and
spare
a
tire in
half.
there. We're not gonna say.
And a pizza. It was an old pizza, dude.
Yeah, that's
Gonna smell bad,
that's
right?
what was in the
like-
court transcript, Stan.
an
It was
old
a
pizza.
pizza, is
Yeah.
what she said. So
If it sits around for a while in the heat, that pizza will smell like a dead body.
I'm kind
Yeah,
of hungry
that's
now.
what she
I'm gonna
said.
cook a bunch. I'm gonna cook a bunch of eggs when I get home.
speaking of hunger,
I might go to
this
Waffle
branch
House.
takes the cake. Literally, is the U.S. military's fattest. You want to say what branch that is?
Which branch is Jared in?
Air Force.
Blammo.
No.
Is
Nope.
it that?
It
No.
was the Navy.
It was the Navy.
The Navy.
Really?
22% of all Navy personnel are obese, according to the Department of Defense.
Why is
Yeah,
that?
that
you
story
reckon?
just came out today. Yeah, why is that actually?
Well, I mean, look, there's only a couple of jobs in the Navy that really, really require you to be physically fit, like
Right.
a SEAL, or there's other like a certain positions on the boat, like what Jackie Brojack did, being a gunner's mate and shit like that. The rest of them, like, look, I don't think they have the same standards for PT that other organizations have. But it's not that far away. So the Air Force came in at 18. Of course, they were second place.
Of course.
Mostly because of Jared, I think.
Yeah.
Probably.
It was just
I think
him.
they were just following
They
him.
counted
yeah.
him several times.
Yeah, they counted his calories for an
yeah.
afternoon.
So,
Body weight.
And then the Army was at 17. So it's not too disparate at the top. And then the Marine Corps was all the way down at 8.3
That makes sense.
because they all do PT.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you can't. There's some fat dudes in the Marine Reserves, but in the regular active Marine Corps, there's not a whole lot of fucking chunkers walking around.
So I get a question for you. We were watching, Jesse was watching the Kardashians' Revenge Body the other day. A friend of the show, Gunnar Peterson, is on that.
What's revenge body? What does that mean?
It means when you're a heavier person and you're trying to get back at a ex-lover or an ex-partner.
It could be anything.
trying to
You're
get in shape.
working out to show someone like, fuck you, right?
Yeah.
Look at me now.
So
They
what-
never get to a great weight, but
One of the guys.
it's not
they
long
don't.
enough
Ah,
of a show.
Jesse,
Look,
come on.
and they do lose weight, right?
They do. But the guy on there was Navy, and he ate himself out of the Navy. They said he was too fat.
Oh, yeah,
and
that
he couldn't
happens.
control his eating. That's a real thing?
Well, I don't know about a medical condition where you can't control your eating. I'm sure it exists, right? People have all kinds of psychological disorders, but
Where you like just do not get full, like
yeah,
your brain
so
doesn't.
There are height and weight requirements that you have to meet,
Mm-hmm.
and some people are out of them. Like I was always out of them because I have big ass shoulders and shit. But then they like tape you, right? So they take like BMI measurements and shit like that, and as long as you meet those standards. Like I know guys, people that are fucking really jacked up, always have problems making the standard requirement. So technically, I bet maybe not Derek because he's pretty lean, but like a normal sized bodybuilder would be obese according to BMI, which is kind of fucking retarded. So,
Wow.
But anyways, yeah, you can definitely get booted. Usually get put on remedial PT and a fucking diet plan and shit like that. And if you don't follow it, they kick your ass out.
Shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
By the way, one of the reasons the Marine Corps scores so low on the body fat thing is because they have a much younger force. Like, Marines are much younger than any other. Like, the average age of the Army people is like 28 or some shit like that. The average age of a Marine is like 24.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the study also showed, let me read this here, that the Marines have a way higher rate of knee and back injuries, whereas the fattest organization, the Navy, reported the least amount of overall injuries. So
Because they don't do any.
what do they know
Yeah.
that we don't?
I don't know. I'm
I'm
It's
gonna
hard
go
to
home
like
and
hurt
start
anything
eating.
if you don't move, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure they move from time to time.
From chair to chair.
I don't know. You know, I'd be speaking out of school if I said anything about that. I have no idea what goes on.
Well,
But what I do know is that Grey's Anatomy star Isaiah Washington says he's left the Democratic Party after visiting the White House. Huh. Look at that. So he's been an advocate for black community for years.
Yep.
And after pushing some bills like the First Step Act and other stuff that helps deal with the crisis of black men in jail, which was created by the Clintons, by the way.
the crime bill.
He came to the decision to leave because the Dems don't actually do shit for black people. And the response was crazy on this one.
Yeah, it's a little wild. I mean, look, he took a lot of heat, got shunned, but he also found like a lot of other people in Hollywood approached him and said, hey, we agree, but we can't come out and say that.
Yeah.
And there's actually something in Hollywood called Friends of Abe.
It, by the way, it no longer exists. FOA, yeah. And they used to have meetings and shit.
It does unofficially now, but yeah, you're right. It doesn't exist as like it used to be like a 501c3. Now it's just a get together of people.
When Trump got elected, that kind of blew up. Like they were too split on that.
Yeah.
Because like Ron Howard was in it and shit like that. And
Oh,
now
yeah.
if you go to his Twitter, he's like fuck Trump and everything else. There was a lot of people in that.
Well, the guy that currently runs it is Nick Searcy. You may remember him from Justified. He was the chief or whatever the fuck, the deputy marshal.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, it's unofficial now. It's just
Yeah.
guys and ladies that get together and discuss conservatism and whatnot.
It's almost like a book club. Here's the thing about Isaiah Washington. He was fired from Grey's Anatomy.
Yep.
And
After starring for 9 years or some shit on the show.
I forget what it was, but if there's a guy who just wants to blow up his entire career, he's willing to do it over and over and over again.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
No.
It's just weird that would blow up your career to me.
Well, no. I think after everything else he's gone through, shit. Actually, no. Let's say you skip the firing thing from Grey's Anatomy, right? I think right now in Hollywood, you saying that you're a Republican is enough to end it.
Unless you've been around for a while. Tom Selleck gets away with it because he's been a Republican for years, and he still gets work because he's Tom Selleck.
But he also doesn't do social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he doesn't
he's not
do
really putting it
He
out
doesn't
there.
do movies either. He's on a very conservative show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Blue Bloods.
Yes.
Like the whole writing staff is conservative. You can tell there's conservative
everyone
themes throughout the
watches
whole
it.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Median age is
Tim Allen and
6,000.
Roseanne are the only ones that I can think of that are open about it. And look, Roseanne got fired in 2 seconds.
Well,
over
she
that
got
tweet.
fired for saying some fucked up shit, but
right.
although
Wasn't
it was
that-
kind of a joke. but-
Yeah, it wasn't that
Yeah.
crazy. Like looking back on it, it was the time,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, of what everything that was going on. But I look, yes, I would say that is probably the number one way to blacklist yourself right now.
Well, he said something that that struck a chord with me. He says, I'm going to support the policy over the person. And that's how it always should be, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I don't subscribe to any of this political party bullshit, because it's you say I'm this or I'm that. I'm a liberal. So then, oh, you fucking believe this? Like, no, not really.
Yeah.
Like you subscribe to all these check boxes of things you believe when you.
If you're a liberal or a
Yeah,
Republican,
it's fucking
is what you're
stupid,
saying.
man.
Yeah.
Like, I follow the data. If the data says that there's a mental health issue with guns, and it clearly does, because 67% of all gun deaths are suicide, then I'm like, hey, we should spend our time and effort and money dealing with that and not trying to ban goddamn guns that account for less than 2% of gun deaths. Maybe.
Yeah. But a lot of people don't think like that. I mean, right now, it's this, I know General Mattis was talking about it the other day, this tribalism where everybody you have to identify with one thing or another. And God forbid you have one wrong opinion on something else. It'll blow up in the media. And look, Dan Crenshaw has been on both sides of.
He's just trying to have a conversation and people light him up.
That's it.
Like, if you never, I challenge you guys that had a problem with what he said. If you've never been in a conversation, you'd be like, well, I think this. And somebody's like, well, here's why that's not right. And you're like, oh, yeah, you're right. If that's never happened to you, then fine. Just fucking nail yourself up on the cross and, oh, I'm the best. But it's definitely happened to you, so get fucked with that bullshit.
Yeah, because he took some heat for the red flags comment, right? And then yesterday he was trending #1 on Twitter for, talking about something that was pro-gun, and it was like, dude, you can't win either way. And the guy's trying to have just a simple conversation with people. He went on Rogan, and that was a very thoughtful conversation. So if you want to listen to that, we'd love to have him
Although
on the
Rogan,
show.
considering how many people in the gun industry and military that Rogan knows, he is like severely ignorant when it comes to gun stuff.
He really is, and how he talks about
it's surprisingly
Joe
ignorant.
Rogan?
Yeah.
Like he is surprisingly ignorant, considering he's friends with like fucking Andy Stump and John Dudley and
Tim
fucking
David Goggins
Tim
and all those
Kennedy
guys.
and people from our organization as well. Like, dude, come on.
I think it would, and I said this on another show, I think it would benefit him and everyone else if you had somebody like Evan or Matt go on the show and really have a thoughtful, long conversation about it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? So right now everybody's picking sides and you're kind of who you are.
The point of all this is that you shouldn't be picking sides. Like, we should all be trying to figure out what is and is not right. There's a right way to do things, and it's not always the right way to do things for every part of the country. The minimum wage, for example, this $15 universal minimum wage doesn't make sense in Oklahoma City because the cost of living is way cheaper there than it is in bigger cities. Maybe $15 minimum wage makes sense in New York, and I would agree with that. Like, if you give me a cost of living index and it says somebody needs to make X amount just to survive in this city, I'm like, well, there's the minimum wage. That's what the fuck it exists for.
Right.
But it's not the same in every part of the country. So don't give me this fucking national law for local policy bullshit. We talked about that before with the fucking group of women in Congress that want to change the laws of the whole country to match their little opinions in these little pocket communities throughout the country. No, get fucked.
Yeah, look, I will say this, to be totally honest about it. I'm guilty of it, and I think it's of the tribalism thing, because it's what you do, I think, for a living also that has something to do with it. Like, you go to a barbecue and you talk to people who work for certain companies, and they were like, my company thinks a certain way, and I can't come out and say X, right? So I've got to be on this side. Me personally, in the last year, with Alyssa Milano, this Deborah Messing thing that popped up this week, from Will and Grace, where her and Eric McCormick are demanding that anyone you work with, that anybody that's going to this, there's a Trump fundraiser in Hollywood coming up. Yeah. Anyone who's there, they want that list and they want it put up on the internet so they can be blacklisted.
Decide whether they want to work with them
in Hollywood. And they're getting crushed by this, right? But these assholes think that they're above the law with all this shit, and it's McCarthyism is what it is. And it's like
exactly what it is.
So I can't, when I read shit like this, I can't help but hate them, to the point where it's like, man, I just want this 2020 election to be over with, him to win again, and then them to have that meltdown so I can have personal laughter. But yeah, for most issues in life, I try to take it issue by issue and make my own decision on it. But I think we're in an age where we're just picking sides, and that's it.
Yeah.
Just because you're so angry at the dumb people that are getting the media attention right now.
It's easy to overreact. When you see a bunch of dead kids on TV, it's easy to say, oh, that's terrible. We should make a law for the entire country because of that. Right? But that's,
But it's the classic, like, Michael Moore model where you just put out these horrific images and say these hot button things to make people be like, well, yeah, I am a person. I don't want kids to be taken away from their parents, and you just go like, me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not, look, the idea that I've heard this said, if we can stop one death, then it's worth it.
Mm.
No, it's not. I mean, look, it's not a popular thing to say, but constitutional rights or rights in general in America are bigger than any one life, no matter how old the life is, frankly. That's the way we set up our fucking country. That's why people join the goddamn military and risk their life to protect America. That's the whole fucking purpose of all this. If you don't like it, if you don't like what America is, then get the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's super easy. Like, you don't have to agree with everybody. You don't have to be a flag waver, a patriot, or Bible thumper, any of that bullshit to fucking exist here. But if you don't like the idea that our rights collectively are more important than your individual life, then you don't exist. You don't even need to be here. Yeah. That's not what this country is.
Let's start shipping them out, Dan.
Yep.
I think that's just a personal choice to me. Like, if this is what this country is. If I was in, like, Walmart, for example, has this new thing where they don't want people open carrying in there. I think open carry is kind of silly, to be honest. I conceal carry everywhere. Mm-hmm. But if they came out and said, we don't want any more guns in here, no concealed carry, any of that bullshit, then I wouldn't shop at Walmart anymore, because I want to live my life the way I want to live it. And I'm not going to go into a place where that's not possible. And if I go into a place, like if I walked into Walmart and started complaining to employees about, oh, fucking want to do what I want to do, that makes me the asshole, not them.
Right. You had something interesting off air that we talked about with open carrying, where you said it's actually detrimental to what you're
trying to achieve with carrying
right?
the
dude.
weapon in the first place.
Explain that to the audience, because I thought it was really interesting.
Look, open carry is not a deterrent for anything, in my opinion, because it wouldn't deter me. Like, if I was a criminal and I was going in to rob a place and I saw somebody open carry, I'm just going to shoot that person first.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Like,
so they know where their targets are.
Yeah, the idea of concealed carry is to conceal the weapon
until you need to use it.
And look, to be honest, if you're legally allowed to open carry a weapon, chances are that you can get a concealed carry too. Like, it's very rare that you would be able to do one and not be able to do the other. So get your concealed carry and stop trying to carry rifles into fucking Waffle House and shit. It's fucking stupid.
Just because you can.
Yeah, like, look what I can do. It's
Stop
like fucking Stewart from Mad TV. Look what I can do. Like, oh, thanks, brother. You just set us back 10 years. Good job. Made
like
everybody
bringing
look
your
like
pit
assholes.
bull into Buffalo Wild Wings. Like, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it. What? Just an off the cuff, very, not specific.
Don't know anyone who does
story.
that. Last but not least, the U.S. is now home to the biggest shroom research center in the world.
You're goddamn right it is.
Dan's moving.
Yep.
Again, I'm quitting the show.
Gone.
So this guy, Roland Griffiths, he's been working on psilocybin, basically, which is the active ingredient in mushrooms, for about 20 years now. And they made a new research facility at Johns Hopkins that's going to study consciousness and the effects of, people have already been doing this, but the effects of, like, mushrooms and MDMA, ayahuasca, all this other stuff on, like, PTSD and all kinds of other issues. Stanford's been doing it for a while. I work with a company that does it in various locations in Central and South America. It's coming.
Yeah. I think that's the next thing around the bend, right? So marijuana was first. Colorado just decriminalized mushrooms.
Only Denver did, yeah.
Denver, but there was another city too. Seattle, was it?
Maybe. Could be Seattle.
I believe so. I think that's next, and I think once it's controlled and you actually know what you're taking, it's probably better for you. Because, let's say you show up at a Fish concert, meet a guy in the parking lot, and you're looking for some mushrooms. Yeah. You don't know what's sprinkled on those, No. You lace those with acid.
You hope. But you don't know.
Have a longer trip than just the
You want it to be PCP,
But
it could just be normal
mushrooms.
fucking
Look, here's
mushrooms.
how to solve this whole thing. Big Pharma just gets involved in selling mushrooms and LSD and MDMA.
yeah, and I think that will happen eventually.
MDMA, by the way, was legal until 1988.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Man, the 80s. I'm surprised that happened in
For
the 80s.
recreational use?
Oh, for use in general.
Really?
Yeah. It was decriminalized, and then it became illegal in 1988.
That's a shocker.
It's weird that they would make that drug. Look, a lot of people were dying.
Yeah.
One, because they were getting adulterated pills, stuff that had other kind of bullshit in it
Yeah.
that would make them overheat and fucking die. But again, just regulate the shit. I mean, MDMA on its own is not dangerous anyway.
No, and look, speaking of regulations, like I had one of those bars, like they're testing out these chocolate bars with mushrooms in them that are, I mean, they look like a goddamn Hershey bar.
Yeah.
And they're broken up into perfect squares. And on the back of it, it tells you how many squares to take and what the percentage is. Very similar to, either CBD or, gummies for marijuana use. And I had a couple of those things and I was like, great, that is exactly the right amount I should have had to do what I was doing at the time. And which is watching the finale of Game of Thrones.
What were you doing?
Watching the finale of Game of Thrones.
Oh, and you hadn't watched any of the seasons.
Nothing. I had not watched. I
What a
watched the pilot
fucking
and then the
weirdo.
finale, and that was it. Well, I was with a friend of mine who has cancer.
No, I know, but it's like
So who has cancer, and it was given to him for the chemo treatments he was going through and things like that. And that was
So
the first time.
You stole your buddy's cancer medicine to watch Game of Thrones.
yeah, I'm
he
just
had
trying
asked
to break
me.
this down.
No,
yeah.
he had asked me. He goes, "Hey man, I don't want to take this if you're not going to." And I was like,
yeah.
I'll pop a couple in my gullet and see what
I
happens."
wonder which one of you said that.
Uh,
He's like, you can't take it unless I'm allowed to take it.
he held him down on
Yeah,
his
exactly. Give me
hospital
this.
bed with a gun.
Yep. Said, you're
no,
gonna
but-
have some. I'm gonna have some.
we were in a hotel and then you would take him to treatment and then go back. But like to me personally, that was the first time that in my life that I knew what was in it. It was controlled, and exactly what it said on the back of the package was exactly what I took. Same with when they started legalizing marijuana, where it was like, all right, great. It made it easier and safer, and I knew what I was actually going into me than the other shit that's out there.
I like anything like this: CBD, weed being legal, mushrooms to combat the big pharma keep everyone sick thing.
Yeah.
It's really the only thing that I have an opinion about.
Yeah.
Everything else I don't care about. But all the over medication of people to keep them sick and keep them in the system.
You don't care about like your kids or anything. You just want them.
Not as much as that.
Take
No.
mushrooms.
No.
Yeah, and if Big Pharma paid me enough, you know what I mean? And they have the money, and I'm not saying to do that.
Yeah, but if you threw a couple ducats her way, she'd be on your side. Yeah.
Well,
But yeah, that's the only thing.
that's good. I like that.
We made it to the show. The live version's still going, Jamie?
Yeah, it is. You want to answer some questions?
We
here?
made it through Hurricane
Are there
Dorian, and let's fire away. Fuck it.
Let's see,
we're
Craig.
still alive.
Craig says thanks to me for putting him on Instagram. So
Craig Dulesky?
yeah, that shirt that said "fuck the Hawkeyes" or whatever stupid team and the land of make believe that he fucking believes in or whatever the fuck.
Absolutely. Jameson Medellin. Man, that's a sexy last name. He says,
Right.
I believe Oakland is the city that legalized it. He's correct.
Yeah.
It was Oakland. I remember when that happened. I was like, why is this Oakland? When I picture Oakland, I don't picture them like mushrooms.
Amsterdam. So Oakland has Amsterdam University or some shit like that. It was one of the first big marijuana facilities, and they had like a training facility that taught people how to grow weed and the laws about it and all this other bullshit. They got raided in I think 2015 because they were putting money into FDIC banks and they came in and seized all their shit. But afterwards they just reopened, and yeah, now they're going pretty strong out there.
Gotcha. Jonathan says, I think it's time to get a campaign going for Holloway Best 2020 going. Not 2020 because we're
I don't think
right around the bend.
Matt won't be.
Matt will.
old
I don't
enough.
think Matt will never run. No, he won't be old enough.
No,
but
he's 31 right now. 32,
33 now.
33. Yeah, you got to be 36.
35, yeah.
35. Yeah.
35.
But would you? Speaking of this, would you ever consider running? Because we said this to Evan all the time too. The two of you guys.
Can you
No,
imagine?
No.
Like, I would have a lot to
It would be
answer for.
unbelievably fascinating.
Yeah.
The two of you guys.
I mean, I might do it. I might run for local office just to fuck with people. Because I do write myself into every, I don't vote. I vote for myself in every single thing.
Yeah.
Always. So, Jared and I have talked about doing write-in campaigns just to fuck with local politics.
Yeah.
But as far as running as a major candidate, no, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah. There's something like when we were at that thing the other night with that politician, I'm not going to say who it was like, man, I felt like he was big timing me at the party.
I think it's all about ego.
And I was like, if I run, brother, it is over.
I think you have to have, I've worked in politics, you have to have a massive ego to do that. And I just don't give a shit about
Ross
myself.
Ross just does not have that. You know what I mean? So I don't think it would work.
The Dirty Beehive says Clint Eastwood is also a celebrity. That's true, man. Fuck. I always forget about Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, that's because you're trying to forget because he yelled at a fucking empty chair.
Empty chair on the stage.
At the RNC in 2012. So that was embarrassing as fuck. So,
but he's still...
he was the mayor of Carmel for a while, too, by the way.
And he's
Which
overcome
is the
all of it.
job of
Oh
all
my
time,
God,
that's
probably.
great.
He just golfed and fucking shook hands.
Yeah.
Great.
Literally, that's it. And drank wine, I'm sure.
But he's still making movies every single year. He's pounding out movies, man, that guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Benjamin Love says, is it okay to spread Eagle Jack outside during the storm? I would say absolutely it's okay.
Yeah, Dan's going to do it.
I'm going to do it
What
on my
you reckon?
balcony.
Yeah,
As soon as the
about
rain...
15 minutes?
Yeah, well, it takes me 8 minutes to get home. So, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So 15 minutes. I mean, why are you fucking arguing me?
Somebody just said that's the dam broke. A dam broke down in Charleston.
Was it a goddamn?
Blammo.
Blammo. No, that was as good as my other joke.
Go home,
earlier.
Dan. Go home.
That was
Get
Joseph
a jump
Wilson.
on that.
We obviously don't have the news up because we are reporting the realest fake news on the planet today. But we're gonna go home and watch that because it's heading up to Wilmington.
Yep.
There's crazy thunderstorms now, which is why we're going this early because we typically don't do this.
But I love that people are watching.
I do too.
Hashtag one night squirts.
The old one night squirts.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I don't care about all this.
So Foxy Tibbs wrote in Quantum Butt Leap. Is that still something you're working on making?
Oh, yeah. Do you guys remember Quantum Butt Leap?
Yeah, the answer is yes.
Just for people who
One
don't
of
know.
the funniest things.
Quantum
Dan has
Butt
ever
Leap
said.
it's a spinoff of Quantum Leap, but it's a super homophobic straight man, and he keeps leaping into the body of very sexually active bottom gay men. And the point of the whole show is for him to realize that they're just people too, and they just like getting pounded in their buttholes.
It'll be like The Help for gay people.
Yeah, Quantum Butt Leap.
The last one we're gonna get to here
Quantum Butt Leap.
is Jacob Nickel. Now he's saying that everyone should go out this weekend and put Matt's book over Nancy Pelosi's book at Sam's Club.
Look,
and he
we're not
says-
going to condone, but we will not.
No,
Actually, I will condone
I'll
that.
condone that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. I've done it in airports.
As long as it's not a violent crime, go out there and fuck
Yes.
with people with Matt's book any way you can. To be
True,
honest.
true,
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Don't
Exactly.
don't throw books at them. Don't harass people. Don't be a dick to anybody. But if it's just subtle fucking with people, we love that. Make sure you document it too, because otherwise it didn't happen.
Yes, and speaking of which, to close out the show, Thank You for My Service, Matt's book, is just made the New York Times bestseller list again for the second week in a row.
Oh, blammo.
So we cannot thank you enough for buying it, supporting us, and yeah, man, it's been incredible, and we hope to keep it going. So for D'Anthony Holloway, Jesse Wiseman, I am Ross Patterson. This is Drinkin' Bros Fake News. We'll say good morning and afternoon, everybody, because we got to get the fuck out of here for the storm.
We're gonna die.